Life often unfolds in ways we don't expect, and when it comes to love, God's timing is always perfect. Many people spend years searching for their soulmate, expecting some grand, dramatic moment where they instantly recognize the person they are meant to be with. But the truth is, God often works in subtle, intricate ways, weaving two lives together in ways that may not be immediately obvious. He doesn't rush His process, nor does He always reveal His plans right away. Instead, He orchestrates every moment, every meeting, and every interaction with divine precision. One of the most common ways God introduces you to your soulmate is through divine timing and unplanned encounters. When you are truly ready, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, He allows your paths to cross, often in ways you wouldn't have imagined. It may not be a love at first sight moment, nor will it always be an instant realization, but over time the connection deepens and you begin to see that nothing was random. Many people look for love in the wrong places or try to force relationships before they are ready. They believe they must take control of the process, worrying that they might miss out if they don't actively seek a partner. But when God is writing your love story, there is no need to rush. If someone is truly meant for you, God will ensure that your lives align at the right moment. He may allow you to go through certain experiences, heartbreak, growth, or even seasons of loneliness to prepare you for the love He has destined for you. Sometimes God will place your soulmate in your life long before you even realize their significance. You may meet them during a period of personal transformation, a time when you are still figuring out your purpose or healing from past wounds. At first, they may just be a friend, a colleague, or even someone you barely notice. But God is working behind the scenes, setting the foundation for something greater. Think about the many times in life when things didn't make sense at first, only for everything to come together in hindsight. That is exactly how God's plan works when it comes to love. He might allow you to meet your soulmate at a time when neither of you is fully prepared for a relationship. Perhaps you are both growing in your faith, pursuing your individual dreams, or overcoming challenges that are shaping you into the person you need to be for each other. God's way of introducing you to your soulmate often defies human logic. You may find yourself unexpectedly drawn to someone you wouldn't have considered before. Maybe you meet them during a season of waiting when you least expect love to enter your life. Or perhaps you cross paths multiple times before finally recognizing the deeper connection between you. Many couples, when they look back at how they met, realize that their encounters were too perfectly timed to be mere coincidences. They see how certain decisions, delays, or even disappointments led them right to the person God had prepared for them. What seemed like an accident was actually a divine setup. Sometimes God will remove people from your life before He brings your soulmate into it. You may experience painful breakups or the ending of relationships that you thought were meant to last. But what seems like rejection is often God's redirection. He knows what is best for you, and He will not allow you to settle for less than His best. Patience is key when it comes to recognizing God's hand in your love story. Trusting His timing requires faith, especially when it feels like nothing is happening. But rest assured, when the moment is right, God will bring the right person into your life in a way that feels effortless and natural. There will be no need to force anything because what He has ordained will naturally fall into place. The beauty of divine timing is that it ensures you are ready to receive and appreciate the love God has for you. If you meet your soulmate too soon, you might not recognize their value. You may still be carrying baggage from the past or struggling with insecurities that could hinder the relationship. But when God decides the time is right, you will be in a place where you can love and be loved fully. It's important to stay open and receptive to how God is working in your life. If you are constantly searching for love on your own terms, you may overlook the person He has placed right in front of you. Instead of worrying about when and how you will meet your soulmate, focus on becoming the person God created you to be. Work on strengthening your faith, developing your character, and pursuing your purpose. When you are living in alignment with God's will, everything else, including love, will fall into place naturally. So if you are in a season of waiting, don't be discouraged. Trust that God is preparing something beautiful for you. Know that He is aligning the right circumstances, shaping the right person, and orchestrating a love story that will be greater than anything you could have imagined. When it finally happens, you will look back and realize that every delay, every heartbreak, and every unexpected turn was leading you exactly where you were meant to be. Love is one of the greatest gifts from God, but it is also one of the most misunderstood aspects of life. Many people go searching for love, trying to make it happen in their own way and on their own timeline. They believe that if they don't actively seek their soulmate, they might miss their chance. But what they fail to realize is that when God is behind something, it will happen effortlessly and at the right time. One of the most powerful ways God introduces you to your soulmate is through divine orchestration, placing you in the right place at the right time, even when you don't realize it. God is always working in the background, aligning moments, encounters, and experiences that lead you to the person meant for you. Sometimes this means taking you through a journey of self-discovery before you are ready to meet your soulmate. You may go through personal struggles, heartbreaks, or even seasons of loneliness where you feel like love is far out of reach. But those moments are not wasted. They are preparing you for the love God has destined for you. Many times we do not see the intricate ways in which God is setting the stage for our greatest blessings. We assume that we are in control, that we must search and strive to find the perfect person. But the truth is, when something is meant for you, it will come into your life in a way that feels natural and undeniable. You won't have to chase it, force it, or beg for it. Instead, God will make it clear that this person was chosen for you. God may introduce your soulmate in a way that seems completely unexpected. You might meet them in a setting you never anticipated, through circumstances that seemed random at first. But as time passes, you will begin to see that everything was divinely arranged. Perhaps you were delayed on a trip only to meet someone who would later become the love of your life. Maybe you were placed in a certain job, a certain city, or a certain community without realizing that God was setting the stage for your relationship to blossom. Another way God introduces you to your soulmate is through mutual spiritual alignment. He ensures that your faith, values, and purpose align with the person He has chosen for you. If you are deeply rooted in your faith, God will bring someone into your life who shares that same foundation. This is why it is so important to focus on your own spiritual growth rather than just searching for a partner. The more you grow in your faith, the more you will be able to recognize and receive the kind of love God has for you. Often people miss their blessings because they are too focused on their own expectations. They have a specific image in their mind of what their soulmate should look like, how they should act, or how they should enter their life. But God's ways are higher than ours, and He knows what is best for us. If you hold too tightly to your own ideas of love, you might overlook the very person God has placed in your life. God also prepares you to receive your soulmate by removing distractions and counterfeits. Many times, people hold on to relationships that are not meant for them, afraid to let go because they fear being alone. But when something is not from God, it will never bring true peace. You might feel uneasy, exhausted, or constantly questioning whether the person you are with is truly the one. When God is orchestrating your love story, there will be no confusion, only clarity. When God is leading you to your soulmate, one of the most profound ways He works is by placing the right person in your life at the right time, often without you even realizing it. Many people think that finding their soulmate is all about searching, about actively looking for someone who fits their ideal image of a partner, but the truth is, God's ways are higher than ours, and His plans are far greater than anything we could imagine. He orchestrates divine connections in ways that seem ordinary at first, but later reveal themselves to be extraordinary. Sometimes God will introduce your soulmate in a way that feels like a coincidence, but in reality, it is a perfectly timed divine arrangement. You might meet this person in an unexpected place, through a mutual friend, or in a situation that seems completely unrelated to love. You may not recognize the significance of the encounter at first, because God doesn't always reveal His plans immediately. Instead, He allows things to unfold naturally, guiding you step by step toward the person meant for you. This is why it's so important to trust the process, even when you don't see immediate results. Many people become impatient, thinking they must take matters into their own hands. They rush into relationships that are not meant for them, or settle for someone who does not align with their purpose because they fear being alone. But God does not operate on human timelines. He knows exactly when you and your soulmate are ready to meet and connect on a deeper level. Often before bringing the right person into your life, God will take you through a period of preparation. He refines your character, strengthens your faith, and helps you grow into the person He created you to be. This process may involve challenges, heartbreaks, and seasons of loneliness, but every step is necessary. Without this preparation, you might not recognize your soulmate when they appear, or worse, you might not be ready to love them in the way God intended. God knows that timing is everything. Meeting the right person at the wrong time can be just as challenging as meeting the wrong person. That's why He ensures that both you and your soulmate are in the right season of life before bringing you together. He may allow you to cross paths multiple times before you truly see each other for who you are, or He may keep you apart until you have both matured spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. There are countless stories of people who met their soulmate years before they actually started a relationship. At the time, they didn't think much of the encounter, but later they realized that God had planted the seed long before they were ready to receive it. This is how divine timing works. God introduces people into our lives when it is necessary, but He reveals their true purpose only when we are ready to see it. One of the greatest signs that God is leading you to your soulmate is the peace that comes with it. Unlike relationships that are built on anxiety, insecurity, and uncertainty, a relationship orchestrated by God feels different. It is not rushed, forced, or filled with confusion. Instead, there is a sense of ease, clarity, and deep connection. Even if there are challenges along the way, there is an underlying peace that assures you that this person is meant to be in your life. Sometimes God introduces you to your soulmate by removing all distractions. If you have been holding on to relationships that were never meant for you, He may close those doors so that you can focus on what He has prepared for you. Many people fear being alone, but sometimes solitude is necessary for clarity. When you are no longer entangled in relationships that drain you, you can better recognize the person who truly aligns with your purpose. This is why waiting on God's timing is so crucial. Rushing into a relationship out of fear or impatience can lead to unnecessary pain and delays. But when you trust that God knows what is best for you, you can rest in the assurance that He will bring the right person at the perfect time. The person meant for you will not require you to compromise your values, your faith, or your sense of self. Instead, they will complement your life in a way that feels natural and God-ordained. Another way God orchestrates divine connections is through shared purpose. He does not just bring two people together for the sake of love alone. He unites them for a greater purpose. When God introduces you to your soulmate, there will be a deep spiritual alignment. You will share common values, goals, and a vision for the future that strengthens your faith rather than weakens it. Sometimes God allows challenges before bringing two people together to test their faith and prepare them for the journey ahead. It may seem like nothing is happening, like your prayers are going unanswered, but during this time, God is working behind the scenes, aligning everything perfectly. He is molding you, shaping you, and making sure that when the right person arrives, you are truly ready to receive them. If you are in a season of waiting, do not be discouraged. God has not forgotten you. He is not withholding love from you. Instead, He is preparing something far greater than you can imagine. The right person will come into your life not because you chased them, but because God placed them in your path at the perfect moment. When the time is right, you will look back and see how every step led you to this moment. Every delay, every disappointment, and every closed door were all part of God's divine plan. You were never waiting in vain. You were waiting for something extraordinary. And when that moment comes, you will know without a doubt that God's timing is always perfect. When God introduces you to your soulmate, He does so in a way that aligns with His divine purpose for your life. Many people believe that finding their soulmate is about chance, luck, or personal effort, but the truth is God is always in control. He orchestrates events, aligns circumstances, and prepares hearts to bring two people together in His perfect time. What seems like a simple encounter or an ordinary meeting is often a divine appointment. The key is recognizing God's hand in the process and trusting that He knows what is best for you. One of the most powerful ways God confirms your soulmate is through a deep spiritual connection. Unlike relationships built on fleeting emotions, attraction, or convenience, a God-ordained relationship is rooted in faith, purpose, and alignment. There is an unexplainable peace, a sense of knowing that surpasses all understanding. You don't have to force anything. Things unfold naturally, and the relationship feels guided rather than manipulated. When you find yourself drawn to someone in a way that strengthens your faith, encourages your spiritual growth, and aligns with your God-given purpose, it is often a sign that He is working behind the scene. Many people chase after relationships that God never intended for them. They try to make something work out of fear of loneliness, pressure from society, or personal desires that do not align with God's will. However, a relationship that is not built on God's foundation will always struggle. It may bring temporary happiness, but it will not provide the lasting peace that comes from a relationship that is truly meant to be. That is why it is crucial to surrender your love life to God and trust Him with the process. When He is in control, He ensures that you are not settling for anything less than His best. Before introducing you to your soulmate, God often prepares you by removing distractions. This could mean closing doors to past relationships, helping you heal from emotional wounds, or teaching you lessons that will make you a better partner. Many people resist this season of preparation because it can feel lonely or challenging. They wonder why certain relationships didn't work out or why they keep facing delays in their love life. But in reality, God is protecting them from unnecessary heartbreak and shaping them into the person they need to be for their future spouse. It is in these seasons of waiting that God does some of His greatest work. He teaches patience, strengthens character, and refines desires. Sometimes people think they are ready for a relationship, but God knows they still have areas to grow in. He may be working on their trust issues, their ability to communicate, or their emotional healing. Instead of seeing waiting as a punishment, it should be viewed as preparation. God does not delay blessings without reason. He ensures that when He brings two people together, they are truly ready to love each other in the way He designed.